Pour the roast, let's talk about the day. Laughing even if it goes astray.
Welcome to?
Well, I thought it was funny!
Good morning, folks. The time is 10:05 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 8th of April 2026. And of course, that's the 9th for my friends on the other side of the planet there, those folks down under. Big hello to every single one of you folks, but a really big hello to that city with the most group members. The city I used to call Melbourne. That city is known as Melbourne, Australia. I hope you're all doing fantastic today. My name is Lee, and I am the guy who started this community of ours. I thought it was funny. You folks are you, and you folks are absolutely amazing. And how do I know that? Well, I wouldn't want to be anyone else if I was absolutely amazing. So I am making an assumption, but I think it's a pretty safe one. And about you being absolutely amazing, well, this community wasn't, and it is, and that's because of you. So you brought that, my friends. Sorry about my tripping over my tongue. But you folks rock. Cheers to you. Let's have a sip of coffee. And speaking of coffee, what do you think of that new mug there? Got to thank my buddy Mitch Laird. He's one of our mods here and a good friend of mine. We were walking through Goodwill yesterday. I was looking for some movies and maybe some weird electronics and stuff like that. Didn't really find anything. But as we were walking through, we walked past an aisle and he said, "Hey, Lee, you got to buy this." And he's holding this mug. And he was right. I had to buy it. For $2, how could I say no, right? Thanks, Mitch. Good eye. And folks, what are you all doing today? I ask because I'm interested. I also ask because I want to make what I call the funniest city on the internet. That's us, our community here. I want to make it the friendliest city on the internet. And I've got this delusion that maybe if we get to know each other a little bit, that might help. So I'm going to start off by telling you what I am up to and what I've been up to. Let's see. Yesterday was kind of a lazy day for me. And of course, on Monday, folks, I do want to apologize. I didn't have a video on Monday. Well, I had a short video saying I wasn't doing a video. Had a headache. I find it really hard to do this. I find it hard to do anything with a headache, let alone sit under these lights and record a video. So I do apologize. I'm not trying not to be lazy, but I just didn't feel good enough to do a video. Yesterday, I had a bit of a lazy day during the day, and then once Wendy got off work, we went to visit her dad. Her dad's staying in a care home, and we had a good visit with him. And then after that, we went to Denny's for dinner, and I just had a Moons Over My Hammy. Now, I have been avoiding non-Canadian restaurants. I'm not going to get into politics, but I have been. But we go to Denny's every once in a while because it is it's consistent, right? And I had what I wanted to have. My beautiful, wonderful wife had what she wanted to have. We left there after having a good meal, so everything was good. Came home. Wendy was really tired, so she just went upstairs to bed and watched The Emperor's New Groove. She hadn't seen it before. I think I saw it a long time ago, but I'm not 100% sure. If I haven't seen it, I've seen so many clips from it that I'm very familiar with lots of it. But she watched that. She really enjoyed that. I just went downstairs and I was watching YouTube, stuff like that. Very uneventful evening. Went to bed kind of early, got up kind of early this morning, and started all over again. Today, what am I doing? Today, well, I am going to buy some hockey tickets. Mitch Laird and I are going to be attending a hockey game on the 13th of April. And what that is going to be is a home game in the second round of playoffs for the Calgary Hitmen, which is our junior team here in Calgary in the WHL, the Western Hockey League. So they are in the playoffs. It's the second round, and they are going to be playing against the Medicine Hat Tigers. Logo. I'm very excited. You know, the Hitmen had a rough start to the season, and then they turned it around, and here they are in the playoffs. They swept the Brandon Wheat Kings in the first round. They're in the second round. Now, the Medicine Hat Tigers are a very tough team to beat for anyone in the league, so we're going to have a tough time about it, but you know what? I got hope. The Hitmen have proven they can pretty much beat anyone at any time, so maybe this will be... there's no maybe about it. I expect they're going to have a great second round, but I expect they're going to pull out. They're coming out on top, folks. I want to see more playoff hockey in Calgary this year, and they're our only hope for playoff hockey this year, just the way things have worked out. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. Oh, then I'll do some grocery shopping after that. Some minor grocery shopping. Gotta get some coffee cream. I gotta get some cheese slices. Exciting times, eh? I've got no laundry to do today, folks. I know you're probably disappointed. I know some of you live vicariously through my laundry adventures. I know nobody does that. So that's what I'm doing today. What are you folks doing? You know, I ask every time I put one of these videos out, I ask what's going on, and I do hear back from you. Rose Glad, she's lives in Hawaii. She's one of our top contributors. She also sends in photos of her art, of her knitting, of her pets. And she shared with us that she was a pourer, a volunteer pourer at the Kona Brew Fest this weekend. She sent in a great photo. Let me bring that up there. Great photo, Rose. She said she used to do this every year, but she hasn't done it since 2023. And she says it was a fun event. She had a good time. And like I said, that's a great photo. Thank you very much for sharing, Rose. I didn't know about the Kona Brew Fest. And, you know, when I think of Kona, I think of liquids, I think of coffee. And I don't know if I've ever actually had real Hawaiian coffee, but that's what I think of. So that's cool. They have a beer fest. Excuse me, I almost choked there on nothing. And thank you very much for sharing that, Rose. Michelle Finnerty, one of our mods here and one of our top posters too. She shared some photos. Now this would have been more apropos if I had posted this on Easter. Unfortunately, I didn't. But she shared a great photo collage of a mama bunny and one of her babies. Now this is in her yard. They live underneath her shed. So cute. So very cute. Now we've got rabbits out here where I live in Calgary, Alberta. But what we see more often, much more often, much more common are, I think they're snowshoe hares. Same family, but they're not actually rabbits. They're a hare and they're bigger, more lanky, and they're huge. That's awesome though. Thank you for sharing that. My buddy Mitch Laird, he's the guy who pointed out this coffee, and he's one of our mods. This coffee cup, and he's one of our mods there. He got some great video the other day. Now, it is spring here, despite the fact that we've got snow still. It is spring here in Calgary and the northern climes. And a lot of birds are coming back from, migrating back. He got this video, 14-second video of these birds, a huge flock, literally hundreds of birds outside of his place. And I think they might be starlings. Now, if you know your birds, let me know. Because we do have a lot of starlings, which is kind of a recent thing here in Calgary, actually. Southern Alberta, they've had them for a long time, but they've really exploded in population recently. But let me bring up the video here, and he got this just outside his. Well, it's unbelievable. I'm watching it. That's awesome, Mitch. Appreciate that. Now, like once again, if you know your birds, can you let me know if those are starlings? I believe that they are. Now, it is possible they could be waxwings because the videos, you don't see them up close, and waxwings do seem to flock like that around here, but I don't know. I don't see any of the yellow that you see on waxwings. So very cool, Mitch. I really appreciate it. Now, folks, what are you doing? I'd love it if you shared a little bit from your day, or even if it's little as just telling us how you're doing today. Maybe leave a GIF or comment or something like that. But what I would love it, the real simple thing to do. Can you please click that reaction button down in the corner there if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook? I would love if you did that, or if you click that like button or whatever it might be on whatever format you're watching this on. Now I know most of us are watching on Facebook, but I know I have quite a few people now on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok. It's growing too. So if it's any one of those, double click the video or whatever to get that like button. I really would love if you did that. That way I know that you're out there, my friends. Now if you don't like it, click the sad or angry or thumbs down. I mean, I still know that you're out there if you do that, and I might learn something, because if I'm doing something you're not liking, well, I'm going to try and fix that, friends. But please click the reaction button. I would love it. Thank you so very much. Also, like I said, I would love it if you left a comment on today's video. You can leave photos too. Now, I do have a dare out there that's still standing. The triple dog, triple hog, triple cat, triple bat, triple frog, triple anything you consider a pet dare to send in your pet photos. Now, I'm going to show you a photo of our guy, Morrison. We've got two beautiful cats, Morrison and Thatcher. Here's a photo I got of Morrison just the other day on the weekend. Such a cute boy. He was just on the bed cleaning himself just before he fell asleep. So let's see your pets too, friends. I share our fur babies. Let's see yours. I also love to see your plants. If you got some cool plants, that would be fantastic. Maybe you got a hobby. Maybe you got a collection. Maybe you just want to share a photo yourself. That's cool too, folks. Share a little bit, in the comments here. If you got video you want to share, send that to admin@wellithoughitwasfunny.com. Folks, I want to hear about you. I want to know about you. I want to make the funniest city on the internet the friendliest city on the internet, and help me do that. Oh, folks, we're about to get to the featured post, but I do have an apology I have to put out there and a correction. On the 5th, I featured a post. I said it was from, let me make sure I got the name right here. I said it was from Tabitha Whitney. The feature post was actually from Lizzie Grin, so I apologize there. Now, this is the post that was in our featured post on the 5th that I misattributed to Tabitha Whitney. Once again, sorry, Lizzie. Lizzie's one of our top posters too, folks. I do apologize. You know, my brain's not good in the morning, and I obviously just missed the name there. So, Lizzie, you rock. Thanks for being patient with me, and I'll try to get it right next time, I promise. Now, on that subject, we do have some featured posts for you today. In fact, I've got 5 featured posts today, my friends. These are memes that made me laugh that you folks submitted, and I'm going to give you the names here. I've got one from Kat Engen Hunter. I've got another one from Lizzie McCarthy. Then I got one from Nay Retzpamek, who just happens to be my brother Ian. And then I've got one from, sorry, I bit my tongue there. I've got one from Terry Lee Powers. And then I've got a 5th one from me. I'm sorry, but I made a meme the other day, and it seems to be very popular. So we're going to start off with Kat Engen Hunter's post. Let me bring that up right now here. And I'm not proud to say it, but I've been in this situation and I've done it. So that's why I found it so funny. Thank you so very much, Kat. Now the next one is from Liz McCarthy. Bring that up right now. Now, before you say anything, yes, I understand that actually it should be the opposite if it's really cutting around the phone. I totally get that. It's not, but still you get the idea. I still find it funny. Thanks. Just reading the comments on this post today. That's why I'm bringing that up. Yeah, it's opposite what it should be, but still, you folks, you get it. Thank you so very much, Liz. Next one is from my buddy and my brother, Ian, also known here as Nay Retzpamek. That's sad, but it's funny, you know. Sometimes you gotta laugh for not crying. Thanks, Nay/Ian. And the next one comes from Terry Lee Powers. This is me, baby. Say hello to my little meme. Thank you, Terry. I'm sure a lot of you folks that are on this group here with all the funny stuff you share, you get this from your friends. Now, the 5th and final one is from myself. And once again, I made this the other day, and it just sort of blew up. It's got almost, that's got like 1,500 or more likes on it just in a day. There you go. Hopefully you found it funny. I found it hilarious. Now, I did get the original image. I got it from a post on Reddit. I wish I had kept the poster's name on there on Reddit, but I don't have that right now, so I apologize. But I hope you folks found it funny, because I sure did. And I got to say thank you to Terry, thank you to Ian/Nate, thank you to Liz, thank you to Kat, and folks, thank you to every single one of you. The reason why this group is so popular, the reason why it's so funny is because you're so funny. It's your funny stuff that brings the folks here. Now, I said we have about 34,000 group members, which is incredible, but we have over 1,500,000 people on average visiting each day. That's just mind-blowing, my friends. And they're here because the place is funny, and the place is funny because of you. So thank you so very much, and cheers for making us the funniest city on the internet. You rock. You know what I like after a good swig of coffee? I like me some biscotti and maybe some bad jokes. When I was a kid, I could walk into a store with $1, walk out with 3 sodas, 2 bags of chips, and a chocolate bar. Nowadays, they have cameras everywhere. I burnt my Hawaiian pizza last night. I guess I should have cooked it on aloha setting. My half-brother and I aren't allowed to play with chainsaws anymore. I tried writing jokes about retirement, but, you know, none of them worked. Whoever invented Benadryl is a genius. It's impossible to sneeze, cough, and suffer from allergies when you're in a temporary coma. I sure hope 1 or 2 of those made you smile, my friends, maybe even gave you a giggle. You know, I've got some people to thank for today's jokes. I gotta thank my buddy Manfred Kintop. I've gotta thank my beautiful, wonderful wife, Wendy. And I gotta thank Brent Furry for her jokes today. And folks, I would love to be thanking you for your jokes. That's right, I would love to tell your jokes. Why not send your jokes to jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com or leave them as a comment on today's video. And if I use your jokes, I'm gonna give you credit. I wanna tell your jokes, folks. And if these jokes are making you laugh, giving you a little bit of mirth in the morning, and you'd like to show your appreciation, please consider dropping a couple bucks in our tip jar at donate.wellithoughitwasfunny.com. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you can help us keep the lights on, keep the joke machine rolling, and keeping that cow fed. Well, maybe we'll have to get a cow first, but you know what I'm talking about, friends. But you know what I really want from you? I want you folks to keep laughing.
Want to help us out and look good at the same time? Head over to store.wellithoughitwasfunny.com, where we've got t-shirts, hoodies, 3/4 sleeve rock shirts, we got coffee cups, we've got to-go cups, we've got stickers. Check it out today, folks. That's store.wellithoughitwasfunny.com.
I got to work on that segue into the joke segment, I really do. And if you happen to be in Calgary or in the Calgary area and you own a working Segway, let me know. I want to make a deal. I want to get a video of me going across the field of view just on a Segway. An awkward Segway. I hope you folks are laughing out there because, just a stupid plan. I want to say thank you again. I spent most of this video just saying thank you, and I always do. But thank you, folks, for making so many people laugh, because that has been my plan. That was the point of this community, these groups that we've got here. We wanted to make people laugh. In fact, most of my life, my plan has been to make people laugh. I don't know why. I just like it. I like when people laugh because I know they're feeling good. That's it. And you folks are helping that happen. Not helping. You're making that happen. You rock. When you make somebody laugh, you make their day better, and you're making so many people's days better. I hope you're feeling good about yourself because you're making the world a little bit better. I think we know we could use some laughs, right? There's a lot of crappy stuff out there in the world. Let's not dwell on it. That's not the point of this video. I just want to say, the fact that you can make so many people laugh and what might be dark times is incredible. Be proud of that, my friends. Now, I'm going to do my best to be here on Friday. That's 2 days. That's Saturday for you folks in Australia, down under in Melbourne, or Gold Coast, or Victoria, or, Sydney. I am going to try to be here. I promise you, friends, that I'm going to do my best. I can't promise I'm going to be here if something bad happens, but I'm usually pretty good about being it. Once again, sorry about not being here on Monday. I was here long enough to just tell you I'm not going to be here. It's hard to make these videos with a headache, my friends. But I'm feeling good right now. Let's hope we continue feeling good. I hope you're all feeling good. I hope you're all laughing. I hope you have a fantastic day, my friends. Thank you for being here. Thanks for making us the funniest city on the internet. Thanks for being you.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I think it was funny.
Well, I thought 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 it was funny.